So 99 Nights in the Forest has exploded in popularity to become the biggest game on Roblox, surpassing giants like Steal a Brainrot and Grow a Garden. And honestly, it seemed to appear out of nowhere, created by just 3 unknown developers. But with its massive success, cracks are already starting to show.
And if things continue down this path, the game's death could be closer than anyone realizes.
Some players even suspect that DoBig Studios, the team behind Fish, Bladeball, and A Dusty Trip, might secretly be involved.
And if that's the truth, then it's terrible for the game because we've seen this story before. The game gets greedier and more pay to win as updates pass, and players slowly start to lose interest in it completely. At the same time, however, some think that it might be walking down the same path as Dead Rising, another hit that, after quickly blowing up, ran out of content and vanished just as fast.
So what's actually next for 99 Nights in the Forest? Well, in this video, I'll be explaining everything you need to know. But first, subscribe if you don't want it to get deleted. It all starts in March 2025, when 3 developers, Cracky4, 4XV, and Viridial launched it as an indie game under their group name, Grandma's Favorite Games. At first, there was barely any promotion or hype around the game, but somehow, after just a week, it clicked with everyone. The game was simple, laid back, and stood out from all the other loud, cluttered, pay-to-win Roblox games out there. Over time, players began sharing it online and with friends. What really made it take off, however, was the fact that it was based on the 2004 plane crash, which made people obsess over theories about the game.
But things quickly changed when more traffic started coming in and the first cracks began to show. Servers began to crash, new bugs started appearing, and updates weren't rolling out as fast as people expected. However, even though the team behind the game was small, it still stayed afloat because its core gameplay was that solid. Every run felt unique, filled with a mix of panic and fun. Play it with friends though, and it just falls apart. People are yelling, running everywhere, yet still finding a way to survive. In my opinion, that kind of chaos and shareability is exactly what kept the game alive. Because when the game finally became one of the top 3 games on Roblox, the developers didn't just sit back and relax. Instead, they started rolling out new and exciting updates, from the Frog Invasion update all the way to the latest Taming update. Players finally felt that 99 Nights in the Forest wasn't just another game that feeds away like the rest, and that the developers genuinely wanted to keep building and improving it. But all of that led to its biggest issue yet. Because soon, players started getting annoyed for a completely different reason. Like a lot of Roblox games out there, 99 Nights in the Forest has its own currency called diamonds, which is where all the controversy began. You see, even though you can still earn them from grinding in the game, the amount you get is tiny, and most just resort to buying them from the shop. And even though they brand it as best value, they're actually charging nearly $32 for just 700 gems. And while you may think this is okay, it's actually not, because these gems are needed for a crucial part of the game, known as classes. You see, classes allow you to get cool special abilities in the game, and the shop, to get new ones, only refreshes every 24 hours, or costs 99 Robux to refresh instantly. You get 1 free reroll a day, but after that, it costs you. And this setup is where it started to feel less like a shop and more like a casino. People started calling it the slot machine of Roblox. What made it even worse was that some of the best classes cost up to 600 diamonds to get, and even then, there was no guarantee of getting the class you wanted. One YouTuber even spent real money trying to get the Pyromaniac class, only to get scammed for one of the weakest classes in the game. This is where the whole pay-to-win conversation really started blowing up. Around this time, people started digging deeper into the trenches of the game and found something interesting. Some players realized that 99 Nights in the Forest might not be as indie as it seemed. When looking into the developers of the game, they found names tied to DoBig Studios, the same studio behind the biggest pay-to-win games of Roblox. But the fact is that no one has ever found real solid proof, and most of this is just speculation. The part where this gets scary, though, is that almost 1 million people actually believed it, showing just how terrible the state of Roblox is right now. You see, the simple truth on Roblox is that the games that get pushed to a large audience are the games that rake in the most money for Roblox. That's why games like Steal a Brainrot, which exploit kids by charging tons of Robux for items, have managed to consistently stay on top. All of this makes one thing clear. Between diamond sales, new exclusive items from updates, and an enormous player count, 99 Nights in the Forest is sitting on tons of cash right now. And this only makes players worry more, because when you reach this kind of success, it stops being about creativity and becomes about survival. Not in the forest, but in the market. You see, this is the exact pattern that Dead Rising followed before its insane fall. It quickly blew up, but after it got greedy, we witnessed one of the greatest fall-offs in Roblox history. And what makes it even worse is that both games are scarily similar, both revolving around keeping one thing alive: the train in Dead Rising and the campfire in 99 Nights.
Now, the real question is, can 99 Nights avoid the same fate, or are we about to see the greatest fall-off ever? Well, there might still be a few reasons to stay hopeful. 99 Nights already has far more depth than Dead Rails ever did. There's crafting, base building, exploration, and even new challenges and quests for players to complete. Along with this, there are tons of theories and stories that could keep players engaged for days, and each monster could be its own game. Look at Piggy. Its theme is similar to 99 Nights, yet it stayed relevant because of constant additions to its lore. If 99 Nights follows this path, it could easily stay relevant for at least a year. And to be fair, the developers have already proven their worth by releasing new updates since launch, something Dead Rails failed to do when it was at the top.
Still, the game is far from perfect. Many players say it's become way too easy. Once you learn how to stun the deer and distract the owl, it stops feeling like survival and starts feeling more like a grind than a challenge. There's also a serious issue with progression. If you're not spending Robux, it feels like you're stuck, since almost every major perk is locked behind walls of diamonds. Some players even call it grind a forest because of how long it takes to get certain items without paying. If the developers don't find the right balance between greed and fairness soon, it could easily kill the game. The good news, though, is that players have been very vocal about what they want. Right now, most people are asking for a hard mode, where you earn badges and rewards for completing challenges. So drop a comment if you want that too, because luckily, the devs actually seem to be listening. For now, even though the game could face doom, people are still talking about it and the player count is holding strong. But popularity doesn't last forever. Without new ideas and updates, 99 Nights in the Forest could fade away faster than anyone expects. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.